is known for having some very vocal fans, and nearly 70,000 of them are letting their voices be heard already. Welcome inside Lincoln Financial Field. To get this one going. And we're underway from Philadelphia. Chooses to bring this one out. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Allen taken right to the air. It's intercepted on the first play of the game. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Oh, baby, this stadium was already loud to start this game, Brock, but that play, it's in an absolute uproar now.
And the one thing you want to do as an opposing team is quiet the crowd. Especially as a quarterback, it's your job to quiet that home crowd. But an interception, well, it does nothing but add fuel to the fire. If he the pitch now.
There goes the distance. Touchdown, Green Bay! The Packers pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Christian Watson with the touchdown. That one splits the uprights. And the Packers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. There is McManus to kick this away. He'll bring it out from a couple yards deep. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Set, 1st and 10. Drive start to the quick throw left, complete. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Devon Fuller bringing that play to an end. The rookie from Georgia in on that tackle. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. First down of the game for James Cook. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You've got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
From the 47. Off the mark there, incomplete pass.
Gosh, you could just almost feel his eyes up here, Kate, getting huge, right? He was envisioning the return, and he simply dropped it. Got to secure that pick before you think of anything else.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. He's got it on the bootleg. Bails out of the pocket quick. Cook calls it in. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Allen setting up play action. That was incomplete. Had the connection, but some stone hands got in the way there.
open look downfield. Can't let the coverage off the hook with the drop. Saw open space, started running before he was able to watch the ball into his hands.
Cook trying this one up the gut. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Devon Fuller bringing that play to an end. Only a yard from that time, so now 3rd and 9.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Allen on 3rd down. Gets this to Kincaid. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That's going to pick up the 1st down after a gain of 26. Working inside the red zone. The throw is caught. And he takes it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. The Bills get it down to a single point. Dalton Kincaid with a touchdown. Extra point up and good from Bass. And the Bills tie this game 7-7. Bass now to kick this away. And that kick is going to go out of bounds. And you know, that ball's headed to the 40. Well, we knew it, Brock, and now they know it too. That one was on their defense. 1st and 10 from the 41. Looking to throw, Clifford. Toward the sideline and caught by Reed. And he goes out, just needed one more step there to reach midfield.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Scoreboard. Time for our 2nd quarter. It'll be Packer football to begin. They're looking at 2nd and 3. They'll motion him out of the backfield left. Dumps it off to his running back. He's contained at the line for no gain. Christian Benford up to make that stop.
You know, you compare and contrast stats over the decades, Kate. One thing you see is the completion percentages are through the roof. In this day and age, compared to the 60s and the 70s, a big reason is just completions like that. Utilizing every one of the eligible receivers at time, running back in the flat.
And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that's good for a Green Bay 1st down. Now Clifford. Tried to connect, but it winds up incomplete.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Clifford to the air now. Heaves this one for the back of the end zone. And the defender comes away with it. DeMarco picks it up.
Red zone defense. It is a part of the practice week at least twice. Thursdays, Fridays, even tuning it up on Saturdays. because it's all about protecting in the red zone. And not only protecting points, but taking the ball away, that is a gold star effort by the defense.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Cook. And he rips off a huge chunk of yardage before finally being brought down.
That is textbook RPO right there, Kate. Quarterback's decision-making comes quick off the snap. And that back, you know that he's already looking for those lanes before the ball's even in his belly. Before that defense can adjust to the run, he hits that second level.
Going to the ground again on first. And he gets it past the 50 and down to the Packers side of the field. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3. It's the 2-minute warning now from the link. The Bills pushing for a score before the break. 2nd and 3 now. Let's go in here. Allen. Elevating down after the player reaches the 26. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that 1st down.
Every tight end worth his salt wanted this. Really craved man-to-man coverage. The best of them, give me man-to-man coverage, and I'm going to beat you. I was around Dallas Park and Indy, one of the best. If you play man-to-man, he's going to find a way to out-leverage you, separate from you, and make a play just as that tight end did.
It's a gain of 3 for him. That brings up 2nd and 7.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll usually be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future. Exactly what the quarterback was envisioning when he let that one go. Touchdown, baby. Not long after, I know exactly what he was thinking. Oh, no! Give me that one back, because the coverage baited him perfectly into that throw, and even more so, picked it off.
Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. He's trying another one deep. They get it right back. That's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it off. And the Bills get it back after making their 3rd first-half interception. Well, they had the advantage for a moment, Brock, but turns out that is all just that moment because they throw an interception to give the ball right back.
And for once, both coaches on both sidelines are preaching the same message. Take care of the ball. Not often you see back-to-back plays end in interceptions, and we're right back to where we were just a couple moments ago.
1st and 10. Here's Allen. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
That drop earns the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open, it beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Back to the air. Allen connects with Cook. And he nearly gets to the 25 before going out. It's a pickup of 11. And that's good for a Bills 1st down.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident the screen would get them enough yards for the 1st, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
Pass complete to Cook. Given 15 yards on the pickup there. And that's good for a Bills 1st down.
Something out of nothing, Kate. That may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that, it was all him. Turning a modest pass into far more than a modest gain.
Chased out to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on 1st down.
He did exactly what he was supposed to do on that play. Felt the pressure and escapes the pocket. After that, It's on somebody downfield to get open and give him a target. No one did, and he simply has to get rid of it.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Straight ahead, here's Cook. Broke through the tackle. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. The Bills take the lead just before halftime. It's a James Cook touchdown. He would not be denied that close to the end zone, Brock. I think it might have taken 5 or 6 guys tackling him to keep him from diving across the line for 6.
Certainly a second-effort touchdown, no question. The backs who become fan favorites, we've seen it through the generations, and they set the curve for their peers, are the ones who just fight through that stop. It will not be denied of a touchdown.
Bass now to kick this away. No return as this bounces into the end zone. The ball's coming out to the 20. This drive starts with barely any time left. 13 seconds in the half. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. And he crosses midfield before going out. It's a 31-yard play, and it'll be first down Packers.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Throwing here, Clifford. And this falls incomplete with just 2 seconds remaining. Trying to find his tight end. So second down coming up.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
One last play before the break. A final throw before the break. Into the hands of Romeo Dobbs. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. Bass now to kick this away. For an exciting start to this second half, we've got a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Now he'll throw off the play fake. To the ground it goes. That's incomplete.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Here's Clifford to throw. Oh, put some heat on this deep ball. It's another interception. Taylor Raffin to pick that one off. And the Bills will take over beyond their own 40.
You know, Kate, once you've thrown a couple picks, it's easy to become check down Charlie. Right? Just throw it underneath and not take any more risk because you don't want to throw what he just did, his third interception of the game. It's time to protect the football at all costs. And if not, well, that backup better get ready.
action now. Allen. Isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And a big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
When we think about safeties, I mean, it's just right in the name, right? The safety is the last line of protection in the passing game. We don't think of them as blitzers. But, Kate, let me tell you, for a safety blitz to get home, they got to be great disguisers. They can't show that blitz early. That safety didn't, and the quarterback took the brunt of the contact.
Another try following the sack. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. Now the shotgun give to Cook. He makes the tackle. And a nice gain here, but it stopped short of the first. An 8-yard gain, but still left with fourth and a bunch.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Offense staying out here. It's fourth and 11. Looking to throw. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. About 19 yards on fourth down, and the call to go for it pays off considerably.
Oh, that just sucks the wind out of a defense. So demoralizing. So many guys do things the right way, only to see a quarterback evade the pressure and go get that first down anyway.
You set it down, score him at the 38. On the ground, first run for Ray Davis. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. Here's second and 14. He's on the move. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
You know, that's a situation. May have worked out better if he'd thrown the ball. His running ability gets him a chunk of yards, but still some work to do to get that first down.
Here they come. This is third and 5. Handoff headed right. It's Cook. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Hey, range is not an optional feature for middle linebackers in today's game. It's a prerequisite for the job. And this guy definitely has it. Followed that play from the start, and he ended it with a loss.
It's far enough, but no good. He sent it just a little bit right. And it stays a one-possession game at 7 points.
He was hitting from that distance pregame. Heck, we were on the field watching it, and they were confident he could do so again. Just did not work out this time around.
And he's able to reach that midfield stripe after some solid running. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up second and 2. Clifford looking to throw. Taken in by Luke Musgrave. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains. So we're through. Ball at the 33 for first down. Here's Clifford. Finds his running back. It's A.J. Dillon. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
2nd and 6 now. And they pick him off again. Matt Milano in to pick it off. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Alert, alert, alert.
From the shotgun, it's Allen. Has the downfield looking right. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. On 1st down, Allen. Isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. Trying again, following the sack. He's got Cole secure. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. They'll run it with Cook. And he's able to get this down to the 36. Now just 4 seconds after our 2-minute warning, we've got another pause. Timeout taken by the defense.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
And he's brought down after a short gain. Now we get another stoppage here. Just 1:52 remaining. Defense runs a timeout.
They got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
Looking to throw. Cook pulls it in. And they bring him down around the 34. Timeout taken by the Packers. Their 3rd and final one. As they'll get together and discuss with 4th down coming up. He's back to throw. He finds it beyond the marker. He's got it. That's going to be a 1st and more. Touchdown. The Bills score by 2 scores as they try to put this one away. Amari Cooper, the touchdown. So sensational work.
Like I said, guys, not trying. Offensively, I was fucking around, using new plays. Defensively, tried a little bit. But, like I said, don't match up 80-90% of the time.
End of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Bass on for the extra point.
No onside kicks, ever. Undefeated in tournaments.
Get off with his
Don't
aim,
try in
but
these
that point
games.
after is good. And the Bills double their lead to 14. away. Return coming from the 6. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. As a man, it's Brooks. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. 3rd and just 2 to go.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. To throw. Try and push it deep downfield. He's got it inside the 25. And he flips the field for them before being taken down. It's a huge pickup on the play. And that's good for a Green Bay 1st down. Second and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. Throwing off the play fake here. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. Went way outside there trying to work that sideline, Brock. But by the time the ball had arrived, well, the defender had to knock that ball out.
I think you see my reaction in the booth every time we see that throw, because I close my eyes and remember the terror that I felt as a quarterback when you let that ball go and you're throwing it all the way to the boundary. There's some risk reward, and that time, well, there was no reward.
Sideline, he's got it, and he gets the feet down too. Give him about 16 yards on that game, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. And he hits the end zone. Touchdown. I hope nobody left early, Brock, because we have still got a game. Big spot for the Packers here. They'll go for 2. Here he is to throw. This is caught. Ooh, and he can't shake the defense. They track him down in the backfield, and this 2-point attempt fails. All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away.
I should have played how I usually play on offense, use my plays that I set in my playbook for every situation. Instead, I went to my favorites that I added from practice, and I try to use like trick plays almost all game long. So
Offense ready to begin this drive.
I was having too much fun trying out those playbooks. It was pretty late at night, so
Set up to throw.
Yep. Okay. I wonder if this guy's actual offense, or if he only went to it because of what I was showing on offense. I doubt that's his real offense. He probably does not win much games like that. It's sad he doesn't know how I really am. Nobody does in these games. Well, guys, I'm gonna play this game. I got on too late, so I was only looking forward to playing one game. I wish I wasn't, I wish I didn't like try so many trick plays and shit. I don't know what to call it. Trying out. Not only was I trying out trick plays, guys. So what happened was I started practice around like 9:30, 9:40, around there, and well, before that, I think, yeah, I went to my custom playbooks and I was like, wait a minute, I could probably remove like 40 to 60 plays and add new sets and stuff. Like, I'm going through my plays and I'm like, there's some sets that are like, they have the same plays, like, out of other sets from different sets. Like, Trey would have maybe the same plays out of like trips or something, or another Trey set. So I was like, let me see if I, like, because I would keep formations. Sometimes I would uh, like add a couple plays that I like from one set. So it's like you're wasting the use of a set just because you like good plays. So I was like, fuck it. They're the same exact plays are like in other formations, other sets. So I would delete like whole all the plays out of a certain set, and then I was like, I went to practice because I did want to practice them and not just go into a game not really knowing how to run like certain plays. Like, I was like, oh shit, there's a direct running back snap play. So I only used it once all game long, and I used it right there um, for a touchdown too. I didn't think I could take it all the way outside. I thought you were forced to take it like, you know, outside, just on the edge. I didn't think you could take it all the way out. So once I read all the blocks and they were holding up well, I just, first time I ever used a quick snap direct glitch. Not a glitch. There was a wide receiver glitch back in like 2018 or something. I don't remember. Uh, but it's just a running back direct snap play. And then there were like, I scored a touchdown on my first play with a running back. I believe it was called motion running back H back double pass. So it was like he you know he would motion out to the flat. I would throw it to him, and basically, if the defense was coming towards him, but there was nobody open, like the streak wasn't open, I would think to run with the running back. And if it's not, if it's open and I have enough time, I'll throw it. So I used that play once all game. So I used the motion H back double pass once all game for a touchdown, and I used the direct snap, running back snap for a touchdown, right there. Um, and that's the key. That's why I didn't go to a lot of certain plays, because I showed everything. I showed them everything, so I'm like, I'm not gonna go to my tight slots like money play, or you know my other shotgun double pass, because I used it at the end of the half. If I got that pass off, man, maybe I get a touchdown at the end of the half. Once again, he was cheap, like a lot of players. Like, if a seam pass was there, if somebody was wide open deep downfield, he would take it. I don't do that. I mean, yeah, would I do it like from a double pass? Yeah, but I'm not taking seam passes. You don't know how many times I wanted a seam pass just to have a seam pass. So I'll show you my plays real quick. anybody can get these plays. You just create a custom playbook and uh, so I've been better on defense because I set I didn't set my defensive playbook that well, but at least when I'm facing normal offensive looks, I have defenses for that. So, but what I really want, I wish they had situations on defense like short yardage situations, like goal line. Well, they do have goal line defense, but I mean like crucial situations, like them backed up in their own end, like um, 4th and 3, like short down situations. Because now I'm scrambling to look for my favorite blitzes and zone blitzes and man plays or whatever in those situations. Uh, or sometimes I'm just going quick because I'm like, fuck it, I don't feel like scrambling or looking for what formation my favorite plays are out of. So as you can see here, I have a lot of pistol and shotgun. What I wanted to pick were plays that gave me motion, plays that had misdirection in it, plays where, obviously, they had good, there's situations for shot plays because you never know when there's going to be a busted coverage. So I'm always thinking um, that if you audible to something deep, they might be in the busted coverage. They might do something with their user. They might do something with their. They might manually put guys in certain different responsibilities, so you could have big plays or touchdowns out of busted coverages. So I always try to account for that. I account for draw plays, certain runs, trap plays. I got a lot of good plays here. I like the shovel right here, the motion Y shovel. So it's basically a speed option with the shovel. Um, the only problem I have with it is that the other running back motioning. There's like two plays. There's a triple option, and then there's this, and that triple option basically it makes no sense. I don't know if it's a glitch, but I went and practiced with it. So basically, you hand the ball off to the running back, and you can run it inside or run like a counter with it. And if it's open, you can just take it with the running back, or after receiving it with the running back, pitch it back to the quarterback or running back on that side. It's so weird, and most of the time it's like a glitch because every time he tries to pitch it behind him, it's just a fumble almost every time. It seems. So I like motion where players are going deep because if I use it earlier in a game, that would be like the only time I ever use a scheme, and it happens by accident because I won a game because I had let me see if I have the play here. I should have it. I had I took it out of my playbook, I think, but essentially what it was like that motion where he goes out like that. There was another play where it was all like curl flats. So the curl was going on a motion and running a curl route. I did it earlier in the game, like way earlier in the game, maybe like second quarter, whatever. Uh, and I just, got that just to get a few yards, start a drive or whatever. And then literally my last play, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute, this would be a good situation right now. I go to motion mesh spot because earlier I had like curl flats with the motion going that way, like looking like it's running that. So my opponent he was usering, and I said my opponent was using outside corners and safeties. So I'm gonna pick this play because even if he's right, even if he's like right using it initially, what happened was it's a mesh concept, so it's not curl flats. So he was using his outside corner or free safety on that left side, and at first he's like, oh, it's mesh. So he's using to like stop the mesh, and then he's like, oh wait, no, like let me go defend that motion guy, the guy that's going on motion. Maybe he's doing something else. So he's kind of like trying to stop the drag, trying to stop the motion, the receiver, and then he just completely fucks up and leaves that wide open for a game-winning touchdown, and he ends up quitting because I believe I was losing in the game. He decided to not take knees, not run the clock out. He was up. He was up like 5. He was up. Wait a minute. He was up 6. Yeah. It was like 20. I believe it was 22. 22-15. So, or no, 22-16. Right. And I go to that play. After I stop him from him not taking knees, I stop him. I get turnover on downs. I almost get like a pick out of it, and I run this play. Gives it up for a game-winning touchdown. Before I could kick the game-winning like extra point, he just quits on me. I was like, come on. Can't wait to play tomorrow. I'm gonna be better with those plays. Not try to like show my whole, trying to mess around too. I was cocky because, you know, I was so confident with those plays, and I just didn't. I was a little off on a couple plays, and I got picked off.